taking notice, taking notice, taking notice. Know they taking notice. Yeah.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knowing my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready? 10 logo.
On first down, it's Hill. And this is Cook with a grab. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Protein spill.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Five.
From the gun on third, Hill going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go.
At their own 12-yard line.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now on 2nd and 13. Hill, and that'll be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and now it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
On play action, now Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Hill. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Hill. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Check General West.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Fielded at about the 28. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Check 52. Bang, 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 bang. Check. Greystone travel. Shoot.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Let's go.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. He's got a man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 50 yards. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down now. It's Jones, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
319. Your side. Fellas, let's set a tone. Box it. Hey, Charlie. Let's get in there.
From the gun on 3rd down. Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the 1st. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense.
And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good 1st half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. There's Hill. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Hey, Delta. Got 36 to Mike. 80 weapon.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hill. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Ready.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 39.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Hill looks to throw. Well, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Jason Sanders on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A running play on 1st down will get 4 up to the 29. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to sip through.
Hey, high 7.
36 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Mike, 36.
Now.
From just shy of midfield, Hill eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Hey, team 6, team 6. Go.
Throwing on third down, Hill lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, 94 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the 27, Hill lets it fly for Thielen, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, wahoo!
36 to Mike.
Here we go. Mike, 36. Mike, 36.
Central West. Ready?
They run. Cook. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
He's not going to get me.
Hey!
Motion.
Hey, exit.
36.
Greystone, travel. Head up.
On second down and 4. Hill going deep for Diggs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, the killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Down. 60 or.
54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare. Flare.
Out of the gun, Hill. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29, and he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they held them in check on the scoreboard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
Let's go, D. Big series right here.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship.
And 29-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
87's mark.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for it, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 24, Hill. They've got his man complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 76 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Echo.
Rodgers now on first down. Airing one out for Boyd. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Hey, Haywood.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Going for the deep ball, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. After the penalty, it's Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps at just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach, when I click off this film,
touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Taken down back at the 34-yard line.
Let's go. 91.
54, Mike.
Pilot, 64.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Look at me, zipper. Hey, Alpha.
54 Mike. Check.
A shotgun snap for Hill. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
He's going to sling this deep down, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Get him, boys.
At the 8-yard line.
30 base. 36.
Oh, you got deep?
Slam.
Topper.
Shit.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw, 61. Matchbox lights. Hey.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Deep dribble.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hill is going to float this one deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quadre Diggs. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Making the catch is Sternberger. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bopped.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead, and I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off.
Hill. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Hey, box drop.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Protein spill. Hey, 2. Get it.
From the gun, Hill. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Operating from the gun, Hill, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Rodgers now to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Jones. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2nd down and goal. Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. What a game this has turned out to be, and what a touchdown right there.
How about when scheme and talent match up? Because they absolutely had to have that when they had to find their way into the end zone to take the lead. They get it to their wide receiver. He gets that done for them. And now they get to look at their defense and say, guys, make it stand up.
Now, that's the only way it would have been more ideal is if you put it in the end zone with 1 second or 0 seconds on the clock, but beggars can't be choosers.
Not at all. And whose heart wants to deal with that anyway? Go ahead and score while you've got the opportunity.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Go. Recon, 132, 5-5.
Hill. And the throw there going to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
They snap it on fourth to Hill. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And checking the timeouts, they do have two defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go again to Jones. And he stopped immediately there. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0. Chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all. Dash, honey, y'all, dash, honey, y'all, dash, honey, y'all, dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when attack like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears.